Attention passionate Kansas City CHIFS fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Kansas City Chiefs' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Kansas City Chiefs fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Kansas City CHIFS FANS. Let's get to the news. Now, before we dive into what might be one of the most intriguing storylines of the offseason for the Chiefs, let's set the scene. The Kansas City Chiefs, coming off a heart-wrenching Super Bowl loss, are already deep into their preparations for the upcoming season. The quest for a third consecutive AFC title and a shot at reclaiming that Lombardi trophy is front and center for everyone involved. But as we all know, the NFL is a league of constant change, and the Chiefs, like every team, are always looking for ways to improve, to tweak what's not working, and to come back even stronger. One of the most talked about topics at this moment is their receiver core, and more specifically, the intriguing possibility that they might finally part ways with a draft pick that hasn't quite lived up to expectations. This potential shakeup in the wide receiver room is more than just a roster move. It's a statement about the team's strategic focus and their relentless quest for excellence. Now, the Chiefs have been known for their innovative and aggressive approach to building a roster, especially under the leadership of head coach Andy Reid and the genius of Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes, who has redefined the quarterback position in many ways, relies heavily on a dynamic, versatile receiver core that can stretch defenses, make contested catches, and be reliable in clutch moments. The recent history of the Chiefs' receivers is peppered with some historic moments, from Tyreek Hill's blazing speed to the emergence of guys like Mecole Hardman, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Marquez Valdes-Scantling. But after last season, there's a clear sense that the team is looking for a new identity at the WR position, one that can help them get back to the Super Bowl and perhaps even close the gap on their rivals. Let's start with the current state of the receiver room, because this is where things get really interesting. The Chiefs, as things stand, are expected to carry around 6 receivers into the season. The names that seem to be locks for the roster are Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Marquise Hollywood Brown, and Jalen Royal. Rice, a second-year player out of SMU, has shown promising flashes in his rookie season, and with some improvements and a good training camp, he could very well become a primary target in the Chiefs' offense. Xavier Worthy, a talented rookie from Texas, ended his college career on a high note, flashing speed and route-running ability that could translate well into the NFL. Marquise Brown, coming off an injury-riddled season, is expected to be a key vertical threat, bringing that explosive speed that defenses have to account for. And Jalen Royal, a versatile athlete, has the potential to develop into a reliable option on the outside. But what about the last 2 spots? That's where the competition heats up and where the narrative turns a little more dramatic. Fan-sided Stacey D. Smith has been closely following this story, and he suggests that Skyy Moore, the second-year receiver out of Western Michigan, might be in serious danger of losing his spot on the roster. Now, Moore, who has already won a Super Bowl ring with the Chiefs, has shown flashes of real potential. He's quick, agile, and has the ability to make those crucial yards after the catch. He had a decent rookie season with 250 yards in 16 games, although he didn't find the end zone in the regular season, and his role has been somewhat limited so far. Still, he scored a crucial touchdown in Super Bowl LVII, which is a testament to his ability to step up in big moments. However, the challenge for Moore is that he's been somewhat underwhelming when it comes to consistency, and injuries have hampered his development. Plus, the team's recent moves and draft picks suggest that they might be looking for a different kind of receiver, someone who can add a vertical element, stretch the field, and bring more explosiveness to the offense. That's where players like Tyquan Thornton come into the picture. Thornton, acquired last November, is a burner with 4.2 speed, and he could be the answer to the Chiefs' need for a true X receiver capable of taking the top off defenses. His speed is a perfect fit for the kind of offense Reid wants to run, and he's shown flashes of being that deep threat. Now let's pause here for a moment. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Kansas City Chiefs news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So the big question is, will Skyy Moore be one of the 6 receivers who make the final roster, or will the Chiefs look elsewhere, perhaps prioritizing special teams contributions and vertical speed? The competition is fierce, and it's not just about talent anymore, it's about health, consistency, and fit within Andy Reid's offensive scheme. Moore's 2 Super Bowl rings and his brief flashes of brilliance give him some leverage, but the NFL is a ruthless league, and roster spots are precious commodities. Another name to watch is Nico Remigio, a promising third-year receiver with special teams skills who could edge out Moore if Juju Smith-Schuster secures one of those last spots. Smith-Schuster, after signing a 1-year deal with the Chiefs, is a favorite to claim a spot, given his familiarity with the offense and his experience as a reliable target in critical moments. His leadership and route-running acumen make him an invaluable asset, especially for Mahomes, who thrives on chemistry and trust with his receivers. If Smith-Schuster takes one of the spots, that leaves the final slot open to a player who can contribute on special teams or bring that vertical threat that the team desperately needs. This brings us to the broader picture. The Chiefs are in a unique position this offseason. They have a roster filled with talent, but they also have some gaps that need filling. Their offensive line is solid, but they will need to keep up the pressure with Mahomes at the helm. Their defense, which was a bit inconsistent last season, is also under scrutiny, but today's focus is on the offensive side, especially the receiver core. The team's philosophy under Reid has always been to adapt, to find ways to maximize their playmakers' strengths, and to exploit mismatches. That's why they've been so successful over the past few years, and it's why they're still considered one of the top contenders in the AFC. Now, looking ahead, there's a lot of optimism among Chiefs fans. The team made some significant moves in the draft and free agency, and they've got Mahomes back under center, which is always a huge plus. But the NFL is unpredictable. Injuries, unexpected breakout performances, and coaching adjustments can all influence how a season unfolds. That's why this roster competition at wide receiver is so critical. It could very well determine how far this team can go. If they find that perfect mix of speed, reliability, and special teams contribution, they'll be in a great position to challenge for another Super Bowl. And don't forget, the AFC is stacked. The Bills, Bengals, Ravens, Dolphins, these teams are all gunning for the top spot, and the Chiefs need every edge they can get. The division rivals, especially the Chargers and Raiders, are also making moves to improve their rosters, so Kansas City can't afford any missteps. That's why every roster decision, every training camp battle, and every preseason game is so vital. It's not just about making the roster, it's about setting the tone for the season, creating competition, and pushing everyone to be their best. As we get closer to the season, the narrative around the Chiefs' receiver room will only intensify. Fans are eager to see who steps up, who makes the cut, and who might surprise us all. Will Sky Moore find a way to carve out his role, or will the team pivot to someone else? It's one of the many storylines that will unfold in the coming weeks, and we'll be here to analyze every move, every snap, and every highlight. Because that's what Chiefs fans live for: the thrill of competition, the hope of a championship, and the passion that keeps this community alive and thriving. Looking back at the broader picture, it's worth noting that the Kansas City Chiefs have built a culture of winning that's hard to match in today's NFL. From their innovative offense to their resilient defense, they've shown that they can adapt, overcome setbacks, and come out on top. Their recent Super Bowl victories, especially the 2020 season and their incredible run in 2023, are testaments to the team's resilience and talent. Patrick Mahomes, of course, is the heartbeat of this team, a generational talent who can make throws no other quarterback can. But he needs the right supporting cast, and that's why this offseason's receiver battles are so critical. The Chiefs' front office has also been strategic in their approach. They've built a roster that balances veteran experience with young, athletic upside. That's why players like Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, and Tyquan Thornton are so exciting. They represent the future. But the present demands that these young players learn quickly, adapt to the NFL's physicality, and find ways to contribute immediately. It's a delicate balancing act, and the coaching staff's ability to develop these players will be crucial for their success. Over the past few seasons, the Chiefs have repeatedly shown their ability to overcome adversity. When Tyreek Hill left, many thought the offense would suffer, but Mahomes and the new receivers stepped up, proving that the system and the mindset are more important than any individual. Now, as they face new challenges, including potential roster cuts like that of Sky Moore, the team's resilience and adaptability will once again be tested. This is what makes following the Chiefs so exciting. They're not just a team built on talent, but on a winning culture that constantly evolves. From a statistical standpoint, the Chiefs' offense last season was still potent, ranking among the top in the league in points scored and yards. But there was a noticeable dip in explosiveness, especially in the deep passing game. That's why the emphasis on acquiring speed and vertical threats is so critical. The departure of Marquez Valdes-Scantling and Justin Watson created a void that needs to be filled, and the team is clearly looking for players who can stretch defenses and create mismatches. Tyquan Thornton, with his incredible speed, might just be the perfect fit for that role. If he can develop chemistry with Mahomes and stay healthy, he could be the X factor that pushes the offense to new heights. Of course, all of this speculation and roster analysis wouldn't be complete without mentioning the importance of training camp and preseason. That's when all these battles will be settled and the final roster will be decided. Fans will be watching every snap, every route, and every catch, trying to gauge who's in and who's out. It's an exciting, nerve-wracking time for Chiefs fans because these moments often set the tone for the season ahead. Looking even further, the quarterback position remains the crown jewel of the franchise. Mahomes continues to redefine what's possible at the position, and his leadership is unmatched. His ability to improvise, extend plays, and make impossible throws keeps the Chiefs in the conversation for every major title. But Mahomes can't do it alone. The supporting cast, especially at receiver, has to rise to the occasion. The team's success will hinge on their ability to find that perfect blend of talent, chemistry, and execution. And as we look to the upcoming season, the stakes are incredibly high. The AFC is more competitive than ever, with rival teams making bold moves to challenge the Chiefs' dominance. The Bengals, with Joe Burrow and his array of weapons, are always lurking, ready to pounce. The Bills, with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, are hungry for another shot at the Super Bowl. The Dolphins, with their innovative offense and Tua Tagovailoa's emergence, are also on the rise. In this landscape, the Chiefs' roster decisions, especially at wide receiver, could be the difference between a deep playoff run and an early exit. This offseason has been a whirlwind of activity, rumors, and strategic moves, but one thing is clear: the Kansas City Chiefs are not resting on their laurels. They're constantly searching for ways to elevate their game, to adapt to the evolving NFL landscape, and to give Mahomes the best possible supporting cast. That's what makes following this team so captivating: the constant evolution, the relentless pursuit of greatness, and the passion of the fans who believe in their team through thick and thin. So as we gear up for training camp, as the roster battles heat up, and as the season approaches, keep your eyes on those receiver battles. Because one of these decisions could define the future of this team's quest for another Super Bowl. Whether it's Skyy Moore, Tyquan Thornton, Nico Remigio, or someone else stepping up, the storylines are endless and the excitement is palpable. Chiefs fans, you know better than anyone that this team's journey is never boring, and with Mahomes leading the charge, the best is yet to come. And now, Kansas City Chiefs fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Kansas City Chiefs. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Kansas City Chiefs news.